decided we're not half bad at this. So we canceled all guests and we're going to do it again. Just us. Just talk on Steve Brown, etc.
He's an old white guy, an author, broadcaster, and seminary professor who's sick of religion. And he's brought friends. Please welcome Steve Brown, etc.
Hey, we're so glad you're here. I hope this will not be a wasted time. Catherine always has the best guests, and when it's just us, there's a bit of anxiety. And then we've told each other all morning that we are especially brilliant, that our thoughts count, that people everywhere want to know what we think. And so we took a vote, and we decided to not have a guest. I think the guest was offended and refused to show, but at any rate, it's just us today. And if you're wondering, I'm Steve, the aforementioned old white guy. Matthew Porter is here, a future old white guy.
Getting closer every day, Steve.
Our producer, Jeremy, is in a little glass booth. Next week is something called Uncommon Musical Instrument Day.
Huh. Is that so?
You didn't know. Jeremy?
No, I didn't.
What's the strangest instrument you ever played?
The Chapman stick. It is a bass and a guitar on one neck. It's like playing a 2x4 with strings.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
I've watched, all kidding aside, I've watched Jeremy play 2 or 3 instruments at the same time, and he blows me away. I think it was demonic.
Well, he used to do that in church.
I know.
Right.
It was
and you'd
in
watch
church.
And you'd just forget to sing. It's like, what? Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't believe
I hear
that.
the keyboard and I see it. What is that about?
I think people got offended when he started playing with his toes, though.
You don't see him, but you do. Excuse me.
He went from foot washing to playing with his toes.
Wow.
You don't see him, but you do see his work. Our video director and one-man IT department, John Myers, is in the tech bunker. And you think we're bad, we would be worse if it weren't for him. Dr. George Bingham is the president of Key Life. George is glad the songs we sing in church are called hymns instead of thems.
Still.
Good line. Yeah, right.
Still have it for now.
And I'm wondering what I think going forward, so this will be interesting.
And Kathy Wyatt is the soft feminine side of the program. Yesterday, I understand that she nearly killed everybody on this program by having them clean out a very large storage unit. I kept my door shut to my study.
You always do.
And pretended that they weren't doing that. Because old guys, when you carry heavy boxes, die of heart attacks. And while I do want to go to heaven, I'm not in a hurry. I just want you to know. Man, you guys cleaned that place out.
We did.
George told me it was a fundraising, saving, a development deal because he doesn't have to pay the storage anymore.
Yeah, we're close.
And man, I'll tell you, you're climbing everywhere you go at Key Life right now. You're climbing over boxes because if you have lived as long as I have and been in the ministry and been close friends to Noah and Paul and Peter, you have produced a lot
And Adam.
of religious stuff.
And Adam, too.
Adam, too.
Yeah.
Well, and you should mention that all of these massive number of boxes are filled with tapes
I know, all kinds of tapes.
of previous recordings.
Even reel we kid about young people not knowing what cassettes are. They have no idea what reel-to-reel tapes are. And we have...
You know what's really funny? This morning I was going through one of many thousands of stacks, but from the very earliest days when we were in Miami, and when you were sitting in front of the a tape recorder, and a reel-to-reel tape recorder, and you were recording, and you were, marking the boxes. I mean, I recognized your writing on the boxes and everything. But the funniest part of the whole thing is, back in his day, from broadcasting and everything, it was very, very important that when you marked a box, that you added this comment to it: tail in. Nobody does that anymore. But all these boxes that are labeled, if you don't recognize his handwriting, they all say tail in. Now, would you like to tell us what that is?
Of course. One time when I was very young and starting in commercial broadcasting, I played Billy Graham backwards.
Did he have a demonic message?
No, it sounded good, like he was speaking in tongues, frankly. And I almost got fired for that. But the tail end is that when they sent reel-to-reel tapes to you, you had to rewind them to start at the beginning. Nobody told me that.
So you just put it on with the tail out.
Yeah, try and play Billy Graham backwards.
And that explains that tail is spelled T-A-I-L, not T-A-L-E.
Right.
Like you finished your story.
It was kind of fun to look at all of them, because it took me all the way back to those early days when there was no staff. The staff was you. And you did the whole thing yourself, but every one of those boxes I opened up, there was a thing in there that said tail in. And I went,
And now you know.
and now we know.
What I was talking.
So before we do, just worth mentioning that we're in the process now of taking all of those tapes and digitizing them, and that details of all that is at keylife.org/vault. Okay.
Vault.
Marketing guy, yes.
/vault.
/vault.
Okay.
Stuff back from
Hey,
1974.
speaking of old days, you guys got together some of the comedy bits from the old morning show. Mm-hmm. Can we play some of them?
Let's do it.
Hey, Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
let's do that.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm
Are
ready.
you prepared? I have already laughed my face off listening to some of these. All right. I'm not going to give any more preamble. I'm just going to play one. Ready?
All right, that works.
This week, on a very special Touched by a Hell's Angel.
Man, what in the world's going on? I thought I had this destiny that I was supposed to fulfill. I thought I was going to find something special that I could give to mankind, but I got nothing.
Spike, stop your crying.
What's going on? Where's that light coming from? Sweet mother, who are you?
There's an angel watching over you, Spike.
Oh, man, this is too much.
God has sent me here to answer your prayers.
Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you, God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, Spike, God loves you so much.
Thank you, God, for sending me this here alien.
What?
I now understand your purpose for my life.
I'm an angel, Spike.
My destiny is to finally bring proof of alien life to humanity.
The wings, Spike. Look at me wings. And the halo.
Praise God.
Spike, watch where you're shooting that thing.
Come back here, Miss Glowing Alien Person.
I'm not an alien.
Quit flitting around so much, I can't get a decent shot.
Spike!
Hello, Nobel Prize.
But I'm an angel.
That's this week, on a very special Touched by a Hell's Angel.
That was funny. I remember when we first played. And now in order to understand that, you have to know that there was a television program called Touched by an Angel. And it was very popular in those days. And, we didn't think there was anything that was sacrosanct. And so we went after everybody. I mean, in fact, we got criticized for going after everybody, but we did it with good humor. And that was one of the funniest bits we've ever done. We have a couple more that maybe we'll play on the other side of the. Did you guys have fun writing those and putting them together?
That was one of the highlights of my writing career, if not the highlight, is collaborating with Eric every morning and writing those bits. And you work on something, and then by the end of the day, it's heard all over the country. I just thought that was endlessly amazing
It
thing to be
really
a part
was. And you guys are weird. I mean, you got to be weird to write some
Listen,
of
you
this
paid
stuff.
us to be weird, so I don't know which one.
But I'll tell you, early in the morning, those comedy bits, we had Ted Kennedy here.
We had Gandhi here.
Yeah, we had Gandhi too. He was a cow. But we had Ted Kennedy, and you could hear him point drink into a glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then the door would slam after our conversation, and you would hear him crash his car in the parking lot of Key Life. And that was funny. I mean, there were times when I could hardly talk. I was laughing because they didn't share these with me. You know, we went on the air cold, and all of a sudden there would be some of these comedy bits, and I was sometimes so tickled that I could hardly talk at some of the things that they did. Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
I don't want to do it again, no.
No.
At that hour of the morning.
Oh, man, that'll take a lot out of you. You know, coffee and Jesus get me up. Mostly coffee, but certainly not a show of 3 hours of sitting around and doing silly stuff and mentioning Jesus occasionally. And a lot of people in this country agreed with me, too. Hey, guys, we're going to back out for just a little bit. When we come back, a bit more comedy. Thanks for joining us. We're doing what we do a lot around here, sit around and talk and laugh. And we did a morning show for a year or so, and it was an interesting time. We decided to design a show that Christians could ask their pagan, unbelieving friends to listen to, a morning show. And it was an interesting time. We went for maybe a year, and we had 10 stations around the country, and we needed 20 to make it viable. Never got those 20. I had Christian managers of radio stations actually tell me, Steve, this is the best radio I've ever heard, but I can't put it on my station. If I do, I'll be crucified. And actually, you remember in Portland, they picketed us.
Yeah.
And they came, and the manager, who was a friend, told me, he said one of his staff members came into his office and said, they're picketing us. And the manager said to the staff person, at least they know we're here. That's the first time that's ever happened. But it was an interesting experiment, and I'm kind of glad that we did it. And it had a serious turn to it. We didn't hide our faith, and often would talk about things that were Christian, that were important, about how our relationship with Christ touched politics and social issues. So it was a serious mix of comedy. Let's do another comedy bit, and then maybe we'll move on. Why don't you set this up, Matthew?
Sure. Well, if somebody's not familiar with the name Wilt Chamberlain, he was an NBA player who basically dominated the early years and decades of the NBA. What we know is Michael Jordan now. Wilt Chamberlain was kind of the predecessor to that. He was also famous for betting scores of women. He passed away on October 12th of 1999, and the next day we aired this.
Hello, I'm here to talk to you today about a very important issue. You may be a part of a large yet unrepresented minority, a minority that needs to be heard, especially now. My name is Dwight Wilkins, speaking for the Association of the Illegitimate Children of Wilt Chamberlain. The AICWC is a support and networking group connecting the children of the 20,000 women that Wilt bedded. For only $10, you can join the AICWC. You'll receive a membership certificate, a welcome letter, and an official Wilt Was My Daddy Too t-shirt. You'll also be invited to our annual AICWC meeting to be held at the Superdome in New Orleans. With the passing of our biological father, now is the time for us to come together. Wilt's estate has been estimated to be worth several $1 million. Divided evenly among his offspring, each child could be eligible to receive up to $3.18. But you must belong to collect your share. Please, join today. The Association of the Illegitimate Children of Wilt Chamberlain. Just remember, you're not alone. Not by a long shot.
Wow.
I can't believe. You know, I've often said a lot of the things we did during that show you couldn't do today, but we just did.
Yeah.
I am not sure. Later on, we're going to talk about, I'm going to start a Bible study in my church, maybe a Sunday school class. It will be for the irritated, for the shocked, and the offended. And we'll get all of that in one place.
There you go.
And we're probably going to get some of that for playing these comedy bits
Probably.
on this time.
You know, part of what makes that one so funny is Eric Guzman doing the narrating.
Yes.
I mean, he just
And that-
is so
The Wisconsin
stinking
accent
funny.
was his touch.
Yes, yes.
Which I thought was terrific.
You know, and you were talking about maybe couldn't do some of those or whatever. It does seem like we've kind of been through a cycle where there would be some of those that would have been getting us banned from the radio or whatever, but now it seems like it's kind of cycled
Coming back,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, I look at what the Babylon Bee does, and I'm like,
Oh.
I feel like they have they don't know, stuff I've written, but I feel like they have taken the mantle, of that.
And run
kind,
with it, yeah.
of kind of that prophetic edge
and it's
comedy.
less of
And
that
they
cancel
paid
culture.
him. If you're not familiar with that, Google Babylon Bee. It's ironic, it's funny, and you get regular emails with stuff that'll crack you up that you just say, I don't think I would have said that. But they did crash that wall down. And they paid a price for it at the beginning. They were taken off of Twitter. They were taken off other platforms. But they continued to talk. And then much later, there was aired a discussion between Elon Musk when he took over Twitter and changed it to X, and the guys at the Babylon Bee. They just sat around a table and began to talk about free speech and being able to speak out and say things that you want. We went through a period and there's still a good deal of it, of cancel culture stuff. There are people that who think that if you disagree with them, you can't say it. And if you do say it, they'll ruin your life. And they did with a lot of people. And I wish as a Christian I could throw rocks, but we have our cancel culture too. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But we've been doing that for years. In our worst times, we killed people, so that's worse than the pagans do. They get your job taken away, but they haven't, so far that I know of, actually killed anybody to shut them up. But we're Christians, and what we do is effective. If you kill them, they're going to stop every time. And if they don't, well, one time they tried that, and it didn't happen. His name was Jesus, and he, you can't keep a good man down. And the resurrection was pretty much a statement from a man, God incarnate, who was canceled. And they rolled a stone over it, man, and, wiped their hands off him and walked away. And then, well, you know, that dead man got up and walked. You can't cancel Jesus because he keeps popping up almost everywhere. Guys, we're just sitting around and we're talking. You have a place at our table. I wish we had a place for you to join in the conversation. Maybe one of these days we'll do that. Because it's hard to do this by ourselves. It's really hard work, and that's why we take breaks. To make a little bit of money and to rest up, to have some milk and cookies, and then to come back. So don't go anywhere else. Hey, thanks for joining us and spending time with us. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that right now, you can receive our weekly Key Life email for free. So you can't complain, and you can't be a part of my Sunday school class, class of the irritated. So, but if you'd like it free, go to keylife.org/subscribe to try it out today.
Well, in the 40-year history of Key Life, one of the features is this show, and we've been listening to some classic comedy bits from back in the late 90s, early 2000s. One of the bits we did was making fun of Bob Jones University, which is, if somebody's not familiar, at least was very repressive to a kind of a comic level. Steve, you mentioned, though, that they've kind of changed.
There's a lot of difference since we did this comedy bit, and we believe it was because of us. Our criticism led them in the proper direction.
Looking for a solid college education but are put off by the wild party atmosphere of Catholic schools? Want a lifestyle just a little less restrictive than that of a paroled felon? Then check out Bob Jones University. Bob Jones. Are you ready to put every one of your drives in neutral? Bob Jones. Are you looking for a school that'll be a stigma on your resume for the rest of your life? Bob Jones. Are the two words that best describe what you're looking for in a college domineering mother? Bob Jones. Let's face it, college is tough enough. Why make it harder by thinking for yourself? Get the Jones for Bob Jones. Bob Jones University, the best of the repressed.
So boy, do we get letters. I'll tell you. But there have been some major changes. You know, we could have picked not just Bob Jones. There were lots and lots of Bible colleges and just colleges that were built on being very restrictive, a safe place to send your kids. It just happened that everybody knew what Bob Jones was at the time, and so we did it. Did we?
There was one out west that was a Bible college that was even more. I won't say the name. It was even more restrictive than Bob Jones. There was a body of water, like a little bit of a man-made little pond or whatever, and there was a bridge that you just walked over, just a little walking bridge. It went from one side to the other, and it was specifically said that girls could not walk across that bridge wearing skirts because the reflection from the water would be a problem for the young men there at school.
And they had a dunking stool on the...
I'll tell you, that was, one of the guys that was on that morning show, his name was Aaron Wiederspan.
Yep.
And he was funny, but part of his testimony was that he went to a school like that. Mm-hmm. And he and some friends of his went out and got some beers and were drinking one night, and they got caught. He got caught, but his friends didn't. And he said that they had a policy of shaming people. That meant you literally turned your back on the sinner. You wouldn't speak to the sinner. You would have nothing to do with the sinner. And he told us on the program, maybe as a result of this comedy bit, when he was talking, he said, I didn't mind the punishment. He said, I did the deal and I was willing to accept it. But he said, the thing that really irritated me is that the people who had done it with me joined in the shame. And he said, I almost never became a Christian because of that. Boy, we do put it in the wrong place, don't we, sometimes? And sometimes you wonder at the people who, and I was going to talk about this later, but we can talk about it now. I was kidding around and saying I'm going to start a new Sunday school class at our church for particularly and only for the irritated and the shocked and the offended, so we can keep all that in one place. But you find that often those who are the most irritated and the most shocked and the most offended, a la Wordsworth and his stories, are those that are doing the very things they're going after other people. And by pointing at others, they hope nobody will notice where they are. It's the nature of self-righteousness. You know, if I'm self-righteous about your sin, maybe you won't notice mine. And the problem is, nobody can be self-righteous about anybody else biblically because of the Bible's anthropological view. People are not good people. If we were good, we wouldn't have gotten the cross. We would have gotten a book. And we would have sat down and studied the book together on how to be perfect. And we would do it, and then we would introduce others to it. And we could build a church on that, maybe a denomination, maybe reach the whole world. And that would mean that the whole world would be sick. But at any rate, we did that comedy bit. If you're a graduate of Bob Jones, please don't be offended. It was done in fun and love and kindness. And no, it wasn't. At the effort to be authentic, we were angry. And that's the only way we could deal with it. Hey, we're coming back. Don't go anyplace. Actually, when we sat down around this table to do this program, we thought we would have some fun, and then we would get serious. And we never got serious because we started listening to these comedy bits that we used to do when this was a morning show. And we're having Matthew introduce them because you wrote most of this material.
Yes. His
job description for that morning show. And it was a fun show, and it was great radio, too. You know, I'm an old radio guy. Before I did this for Jesus, I did it for the devil, and the devil paid a lot better, frankly. But I did. I was in commercial broadcasting for a long time, and this was better than the stuff I was producing when I was being paid to do it. It really was a great program. Introduce another comedy bit. We'll listen to 2 or 3 more.
Sure. Well, if you remember our last election, you know, there's a lack of attractive candidates. It's just really rough, but they made a product to help with that.
As a country gets older, certain processes, like choosing a president, don't work the way they used to. That's why you should know the facts about electile dysfunction. Signs of electile dysfunction include a loss of interest in voting, inability to maintain focus on races, and greatly anticipated debates that just fizzle out. The condition is more common than you might think, and a lack of attractive candidates only compounds the problem. But now, there's Levotra. Levotra has been clinically proven to reignite a desire for the body politic and increase enthusiasm and ability for regular discourse. Levotra isn't for everyone. Users who have a weak constitution should discontinue use. If you experience an erection that lasts longer than 12 months, consult your doctor. Don't live with erectile dysfunction another day. Rekindle your passion for the process with Levotra.
Porter, you're crazy. You know that?
Yes, now I remember.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff we did every morning, man, and it was a fun time. If we could have, we tried to talk them into letting us do it in the afternoon, but they wouldn't do it. So we ended up landing that plane in a crash. But it was really fun. You got more of these?
Sure. You know, all the summer blockbusters are out, but if you're looking for some kind of alternative programming, we got a movie for you.
Scandalous, outrageous, shocking. From director Jacques Levreau, a cross-dressing lesbian trapped inside a man's body. One man's heartbreaking struggle to understand his attraction to women and his desire to wear men's clothing. Gérard Depardieu is Jean de Molay in La Pantalon de l'Homme, the pants of the man. Provocative, bold, fearless. Critics are raving. Ebert and Robert give Le Pantalon de l'Homme 2 thumbs up. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone hails it as groundbreaking, moving, and brave. Newsweek proclaims Depardieu delivers an utterly believable performance as a man on a journey to embrace his inner cross-dressing lesbian. Winner 11 Golden Globes, 6 Academy Awards, and the prestigious Cannes Palme d'Or. To be true to himself, he defied society's rules and risked it all. Gérard Depardieu, Le Pantalon de l'Homme, the pants of the man. Now playing in select cities.
Dude, you know, that would. I had forgotten some of these things. They were fun and incredibly well produced.
Yes, and that's not me producing that. That's Eric. And
yeah, he was.
Kudos to him.
We did a lot of fun stuff with PBS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their funding has been withdrawn, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Mostly, I'm kind of relieved that I don't have to pay for it. But at any rate, we created the theme from PBS.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of their announcers sound like they're pretty uptight and their underwear's too tight. And so we created a lot of stuff at PBS using their thing. I'm surprised we didn't get sued.
Well, maybe there's still time to fix that.
You got another one?
Sure. You know, if you're a parent of a teen, you might want to check out this next product.
Concerned about teen pregnancy? Now there's a solution. Introducing CeliBate, the only product clinically proven 100% effective in preventing teen pregnancy. And it's so easy. Teen girls simply take one CeliBate tablet and hold it firmly between their knees. That's it. CeliBate is strong enough for every type of girl, even cheerleaders. Side effects of using CeliBate may include elevated self-esteem, increased level of education and career potential, and a lack of regret. Ask your doctor if CeliBate is right for you. CeliBate. When the tablet is placed, you can stay chaste. CeliBate. From the makers of No Porn at All.
Well, I just want to say this has been really fun being a part of this ministry. I'm going to miss you guys.
You're going to have to do a follow-up for the No Porn at All.
Yeah.
Did we ever do one of those? No.
No.
It's time.
That was fun stuff. It really was. And look, don't send us letters. It won't do any good. It didn't do any good then, and it won't do any good now. The truth is that we Christians sometimes are so We take ourselves so seriously about everything that we've forgotten how to laugh at things that are really funny. And some of these comedy bits that we played for you today, I don't care who you are, that's funny. And if you didn't laugh, you need to go to see a counselor, because everybody I know that heard it, even if they didn't want to laugh, started laughing. And that's a good sign. You know why? Because wherever there's laughter, there's Jesus. You didn't know that, do you? And that's how I knew when I go to a new church and I'm preaching at a conference. If they don't laugh, then I know what the problem is. It's not that they don't have a sense of humor. The problem is Jesus has left the building. The early church used to call the Holy Spirit the happy spirit. And somebody has said that joy is the flag that flies over the castle where the king is in residence. And there's something to that. There really is. I wish we had another hour or two, because we have a bunch of these comedy bits. Maybe when we sit around next time without a guest, we'll dig up some more of those comedy bits and offend a few more of you. Guys, we're going to come back for just a short time. We'll tell you what we're going to do next week. But right now, we're going to back out, rest up, repent maybe for playing the things that we've done today, but not much. And then we're going to come back, so don't touch that dial. Stay close, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. As always, when we don't have a guest and we just sit around, the program goes in directions we never planned. I mean, we don't sit around and have a programming meeting for what we're going to do for et cetera when nobody's here. We just say, let's sit down and talk and see where it goes. And if it's really bad and it's really offensive, we don't have to air it. We'll do another one that'll be more in the box. But this has turned out to be really fun because it's included some serious stuff, but also it has to do with comedy bits that when they were originally played on the air in a morning show that we did, offended a whole lot of people. On that morning show, we had a character. We had a lot of characters. Gandhi showed up. He was a cow. And the Pope showed up. That was interesting, too. And we ended the program by playing, what was it?
Your favorite musical artist of all time, Barbra Streisand, The Way We Were, and all this cast of characters that we had created over the years were helping sing it. It was amazing.
Maybe if we do this again, we'll see if we can dig up that comedy bit and do that. But we had a lot of characters that showed up, and they became regulars on the program. We had a manager in Atlanta. We had a character named Geriatric, and we got it from a news story where a man had been accused of abusing women in his nursing home. And we asked him, I would generally do the interview, and I would say, Jerry, did you do it? And he said, no. When I was married, we had a waterbed, and we called it the Dead Sea. And this manager called me up in Atlanta, and he said, I had a lady call me who was really upset with that comment. And she said, but she went to her Bible study that night, and everybody was talking about it, and they were laughing about it. And then she said to the manager, I'm sorry, maybe I was wrong. So it was a fun time. Who's going to be on next week?
Well, next week, we talk about going from the sublime to the ridiculous. This is sort of going from the ridiculous to the sublime. Anyway, Governor John Kasich is going to be with us next week. He, I didn't realize he was already a New York Times bestseller, but anyway, his new book is titled Heaven Help Us: How Faith Communities Inspire Hope, Strengthen Neighborhoods, and Build the Future.
Oh,
I like him.
I do too.
If I lived in Ohio, I would have voted for him.
I did.
Oh, voter
In a
fraud,
primary.
huh?
No, it was a primary.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be an interesting program, and we hope you show. Same time, same place next week. Between now and then, don't do anything we wouldn't, and that gives you a wide, wide berth.